the Mets. Oh, they're hollering, they're cheering, and they're jumping in their seats where they go to meet the Mets. All the fans are true to the orange and blue, so hurry up and come on down, 'cause we got ourselves a ball from the Mets of New York town. Give 'em a yell, give 'em a hand, and let 'em know you're rooting and you stand. Come on and meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your TVs, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life, because the Mets are really something to ball. Knocking those home runs over the wall. The east side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the M-E-T-S Mets of New York town. Of New York town.
Hey there, everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice, and we are continuing our 1979 replay. The Mets are 48-99, so they're trying to avoid their 100th loss, which is going to be quite painful for me. And let's look into this game and see where we're at. We're joining the action in the bottom of the seventh. We are at Shea Stadium, 1979, and we are facing the Cubs. It's Bill Caudill. And this is probably his last inning. I expect it to be his last inning. He's allowed, his fatigue factor is 6. So that means in the 6th, he becomes fatigued. And he's facing Juan Berenger, who did pretty well for the Mets. He was 1-1 with a 2.93 ERA and 5 starts. Now, the good news for the Met fans out there is that the Mets are up 3-0 in the bottom of the 5th. It's a 2-run. It's a solo shot by Lee Mazzilli, and that was Lee Mazzilli's. I'll tell you, it was. That's Lee Mazzilli's 16th home run of the season, and in reality, how many did he hit that season? We're down to we have 10 more games to go. He hit 15 exactly, so he just hit his 16th today. So he's pretty close to the exact numbers. And then it was Eddie Kranepool who hit a home run as well, a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 2nd. So all the Mets scoring happened in the 1st and in the 2nd inning. And that was Kranepool's 3rd home run of the season. He has actual at-bats, approximately. And he hit 2 home runs, and he has 3 in the replay. So, I mean, you can't get very much more realistic than this. And we are playing Payoff Pitch. This is the season, my 79 season replay. And it's going to be Frankie Taveras leading it off. He is the leadoff hitter. It's Frank Taveras at short. Kelvin Chapman playing second base, resting Doug Flynn. Lee Mazzilli in center field batting 3rd. Batting cleanup is John Stearns, the catcher. Batting 5th is Richie Hebner, the 3rd baseman. Joe Youngblood batting 6th in left field. Ed Kranepool at first base batting 7th. Batting 8th is Dan Norman in right field, and then batting 9th is Juan Berenger, the pitcher. And we are going to get started here with the action. And I'm going to try to angle this a little bit over so we can get, let's see. So we can just get the dice roll in there at least a little bit more. Slide this down just a little bit. There we go. Okay, we gotta have our stealth dice tower. Now that's going to be defense. The way I play this using the fast action cards is I pull a card. That's a range 3rd base. So at 3rd base is Steve Oniveris. Steve Oniveris at 3rd base is a D range. He's a D range, and if you look at the card right here, it says range. So we know it's a 3rd base range. He has a D range. So 1 to 53, it's going to be some sort of hit for Frankie Taveras. So we are going to roll. Oh, we rolled already. That's a 0-5. And that's going to be a base hit of some kind. Let's see. 3rd base could be a double. 3rd base, it is a double. It's underneath his glove and into the left field corner, and hustling around first. Here's the throw to second. He is safe with a leadoff double for Frankie Taveras. So a runner on second, nobody out. Mets lead at 3-0 here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. That's a 10. That's tough. A tough 34. A tough 34 is strike three. So Kelvin Chapman chases, strikes out, one away. Next is Lee Mazzilli, and they're going to walk Lee Mazzilli in this situation. Intentional walk to Lee Mazzilli. He's batting about 330. He batted over 300, doing a little bit. He's doing better than he did in actuality. That's going to be John Stearns. And that's going to be an 8. An 8 is patient. A patient 13 is based on balls. Bases are loaded. So John Stearns works a walk, and the bases are loaded for Richie Hebner. Here's the pitch from Bill Caudill. There's action now in the Cubs bullpen. That's a 10. That's tough. A tough 70. A tough 70 is going to be a ground ball to short. This has potential for a double play. We are playing back now. Maybe we should have played in a little bit early, so I didn't really. 9 and 6, 4. The throw to first, not in time, and a run scores. So the Cubs decided they were going to play the infield back on this, and a run scores on the fielder's choice. So it's going to be a 6-4. It's going to be an RBI. So Taveras advances. So does Mazzilli. Out at second is going to be Stearns. And Richie Hebner gets an RBI, and he's on with fielder's choice. First and third. And it's Joel Youngblood. Youngblood's 2 for 2. He singled twice. Here's the pitch to Youngblood. That's a 3. That's tough. A tough 35. A tough 35 is strike 3. And Youngblood down swinging. And that retires the side. The Mets pick up 1 run. They lead at 4-0. All right, it's Juan Berenger against Ivan De Jesus. De Jesus 0 for 2. He struck out twice. We're playing payoff pitch baseball. 99% of everything comes off the cards. And it's Juan Berenger looking for the sign from Stearns. Here's the pitch. And that's a 5. That's a tough pitch, a tough 73. And that's going to be a fly ball, shallow center. Mazzilli in. Makes the catch, 1 away. Next is Scott Thompson. He's 1 for 2, a single and a flyout. He's a left-handed batter. 7, that's a tough 51. And, that's right outside of hit range. That's a ground ball. Pull down the line. Hebner up with it, fires across the diamond, and gets Scott Thompson. Scott with 1 T. And now it's Dave Kong Kingman, the ex-Met. Kingman hit 48 home runs in 79. That's a snake eyes. That's going to be ballpark. He's 73 is going to be in his in play. So it's a ball that's in play, 26, and that's through into left field for a single. So it's a 2-out single for Dave Kong Kingman. And it's Larry Bittner, 4-0 Mets, top of the 6th. Here's the pitch from Berenger. That's a 3. That's defense. So the way we pull it, we pull a fast action card, and it says error third base. Now, Hebner's not a very good third baseman, and we're going to look at his data. He is a 2. So a 2 is going to tell us 1 to 51, and it's an error on Hebner. And then we'll find out what kind of error. We roll a 53, so it's right outside of his error range. So he makes the play. It's an out to third base. It's popped up. So Hebner calling for it, makes the catch, and that retires the side. So Bittner flies out, pops up to the left side, and it's the Mets' Kranepool, who was 1 for 2. He hit a home run. Ed Kranepool batted about 215. Let's take a quick peek at what he's doing in our league. I hit the wrong spot. So using iScore keeps your stats for you, so you'll know what's going on. He's batting in real life. He batted 215. In our replays, batting 227. So here's the pitch to, Caudill's going to be pulled. He's going to get pulled simply because he gets tired. Well, he gets tired in the sixth inning, and we are in the sixth inning. So instead of using a pitcher hitting card, a fatigue card, we're just going to bring in a new pitcher. So it's going to be Doug Capilla. Doug Capilla. It's a left-hander. And he's going to replace Bill Caudill. And it's Doug Capilla lefty versus Ed Kranepool. Oh, well, that went flying. That's a 7. A 7 is going to be a tough 89 is a fly. It's a ground ball to the second baseman, Steve Mako. And that's out number 1. Bottom of the 6th. 4-0 Mets. Danny Norman kills left-handers. 5. Defense. Going to pull a card. It's range for the right fielder. In right field is Scott Thompson. Scott Thompson's range in right field is a C. A C translates it to 1 to 43 is a hit. So 1 to 40. Oh, we roll 57. So that's outside of the hit range, and that's going to be an out to right field. See what kind of an out it is. It's a short fly to right field. Scott Thompson puts it away, and that's out number 2. And now it's Juan Berenger. And Berenger is going to be, Berenger should have been fatigued already. I just realized he was a 6 as well. So he's pitching a shutout, actually. He's pitching a shutout, so he would not get fatigued just yet because he's pitching a shutout. All right, it's going to be 7, a tough 92, and that is a fly ball to left. Kingman, he's there. And that retires the side. It's Steve Oniveris leading it off. It's Oniveris, Jerry Martin, and Bruce Kim. We are in the middle of September, finishing up our replay. Mets are trying to avoid losing their 100th game. Can they do it? That's the real question. Steve Oniveris, he's a switch hitter batting lefty. Juan Berenger looks in for the sign. That's going to be a 3. That's defense. Again, we pull a card, and that says range center field. Mazzilli's out there in center field. Let's see if he can run this fly ball down. He's got a D range. That means 1 to 53, and we rolled a 53, so that's going to drop in there for a base hit. And what kind of a hit? It's going to be a single. So Mazzilli didn't get the jump, and it drops in front of him for a single. So Steve Oniveris, the leadoff batter, is on at first, and it's Jerry Martin next. That's a 3. Another defense. Holy smokes. Range right field this time. In right field is Danny Norman. Going to look at his numbers for a right fielder. He's a range in right field of C. So that is 1 to 43. We rolled a 0-5. So that's going to be another hit, another range hit. And that's going to be a single. Runner advances 2 bases. So back-to-back single. And there's something brewing here for the Cubs in the top of the 7th inning. Bruce Kim. Here's the pitch. That's a 7. That's a tough 26. Tough 26 is lined and caught by the shortstop, Taveras. Leaping grab by Taveras. Hit right on the screws. But Taveras timed it perfectly. And Steve Mako, left-handed batter. Here's the pitch. That's a 3. A defense again. Holy smokes. Range first baseman. First base is Kranepool. Now, I know Kranepool doesn't have much range. He's at the end. This is the year that he retires. He's at the end of his career. He's an F, which means a 1 to 63, and we rolled a 75. So that's a ball that Kranepool actually makes a nice play on. And that's going to be a pop-up. And Kranepool runs it down, over the shoulder catch. And that's out number 2. And that's pitcher spot. And we're going to bring in a pinch hitter. It's going to be, let's see who we're going to bring in. Kenny Henderson. Switch hitter Kenny Henderson's coming in to bat for Doug Capilla. Ken Henderson, switch hitter, is going to bat from the left side. All right, here goes. And that's a 4. That's patient, a patient 82. And that's right outside of range. His range goes all the way to 81. That's going to be a ground ball, hits a short. Taveras flips to Chapman, and that retires the side. So the Cubs leave 2 men on, score none, and at the end of 6.5, it's 4-0 Mets. I have to bring in a new pitcher facing Taveras. Taveras is 1 for 3. See who else we have here to pitch. Donnie Moore is going to come in. Donnie Moore is going to pitch. All right, Donnie Moore. Let's see where he is. Hey there, how you doing? Philip. Philip's in the house. All right, Donnie Moore versus Frankie Taveras. We're rolling 4 dice, 2 10-sided, 2 6-sided. You read the 2 6-sided first. A 2 and a 6 is an 8. You look at Donnie Moore, his tough 13. A tough 13 is a strikeout. Strike 3, Frankie Taveras. Down swinging. Next is Kelvin Chapman. And that's a 7 in play. And in play 36 is going to be a pop-up to the left side. Ivan De Jesus calls everybody off, makes the catch, 2 away. And it's Vin Mazzilli. That's a 4. That's patient. 0-6 patient against a righty is going to be ball 4. So that's a walk for Mazzilli. Mazzilli's on at first, and Mazzilli's going to try to run. And a 10 won't do it. So he doesn't get the lead. Here's the pitch to Stearns. And that's an 11. That's defense again. This is an error shortstop. De Jesus. I'm going to look at his numbers. He's a 2 error rating, and a 2 is a 1 to 51 is an error. We roll an 85, so that's a ball that De Jesus corrals, fires to first, and makes the play. 6-3, that retires the side. We go to the top of the 8th inning. That's going to be it for Berenger. We're going to bring in a new pitcher for the Mets. I'm going to try to bring in, let's see here, Jeff Reardon. Going to bring in Reardon. He pitched in 18 games. So Reardon is going to come in. Great job by Juan Berenger, who does basically goes 7 innings, allowing 2 hits. Jeff Reardon, see if we can hold on now. It's going to face Ivan De Jesus. So it's a 4-hitter, excuse me. Cubs picked up 4 hits in 7 innings. And it's going to be a 4. That's patient, a patient 97. And a patient 97 is a fly ball to shallow left. Youngblood under it. 1 away. And that's a 9. Defense. Another defense. Holy smokes. Error third base. Another potential error for Hebner. We rolled a 35, so that's almost guaranteed. Error on Hebner. Hebner is a 2 error rating. And a 2 error rating is a 1 to 51, so that is an error on Hebner. What kind of an error? It is a drop foul, so nobody reaches base. But Hebner is going to pick up an error on a drop foul, assign error to the third baseman. So, wow. Okay, Scott Thompson, batting from the left side, gets a second life thanks to Richie Hebner. And that's an 11. That's a tough 28. And a tough 28 is strike 3. So Reardon blows it by Scott Thompson. And it's Dave Kingman with 2 outs. The pitch from Reardon, that's a 5. That's ballpark. Ballpark 54 is, we're lucky, right outside of the range. It's going to be an in-play, 85 in play. And that's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop, Taveras. Scoops it, throws, and gets Kingman. 3 up, 3 down. Donnie Moore. Donnie Moore on the mound for the Cubs, facing Richie Hebner. Hebner's 0 for 3. And that's a 6. That's tough. A tough 30. And a tough 30 is strike 3. Hebner strikes out. Curveball got him. Joe Youngblood. That's a 5. That's range. That's a range. So range for the right fielder. And the right fielder is Scott Thompson. Scott Thompson in right field is a range C. So it's going to be 1 to 43 is going to be a hit, and we rolled a 49. So that's a ball that Scott Thompson runs down in the gap. Nice catch. And that's going to be out number 2. And Eddie Kranepool. That's a 7. In play 58. It's going to be an easy out. Ground ball shortstop. Ivan De Jesus right there. And throws out Kranepool. And that retires the side. So we're in the bottom of the 9th, 4-0 Mets. They're avoiding their 99th loss. If they win here, it'll be their 49th victory of the season. Jeff Reardon is still in there. And it's going to be Larry Bittner. Larry Bittner. Wait a second. What happened to Bittner? I lost Bittner somehow. Bittner vanished. Ah, there he is. All right, here's the pitch to Larry Bittner. And that's a 7 in play, and in play 29. And against a righty, that's going to be right outside the hit range, and that's going to be popped up behind the plate. This doesn't happen very often in this game. And that's an out. So John Stearns throws the mask away and makes the catch. Steve Ontiveros. That's a 3. That's ballpark 97. That's going to be in play on Steve Ontiveros' card, a 40. And that's going to be a pop-up to the left side. Hebner there makes the catch. 2 away. Mets are 1 out away from winning their 49th game. Every victory is a celebration, a champagne celebration. Jeff Reardon. Snake Eyes, which is wheelhouse on Reardon's card. A 49 on a wheelhouse versus a righty is outside of range. It's a ground ball to the third baseman, Hebner. He fires to first, and that's the ball game, folks. Mets win it 4-0. Berenger and Jeff Reardon combined for a 4-hit shutout of the Chicago Cubs visiting New York. This was the second game of a 2-game set. And we didn't even get – the thing didn't even kick in yet. Let's try to go back here. There we go. Let's try to get the information in now. There we go. Juan Berenger gets the win. And there's no save for Reardon. The loss is going to go to Bill Caudill. Caudill or Caudill. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. And it's probably Caudill, but don't know. So I'm going to send myself the email box score, and I'll be able to post that somewhere, talk about do a quick little write-up. So that's it. I'll run by the line score. It's Cubs, 79 Cubs, no runs, 4 hits, no errors, 6 left on base. The Mets had 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, 6 left on base. And I don't know where the Mets go next, but I know I have to plug in my laptop because it has no battery. Let me plug that in before it goes out. All right, it's back. Let me look quickly and see. So after this game, in reality, the Mets lose this game. The Mets, I think, lose like 34 of their last 38 games. Yeah, they were horrendous. Actually, they win the last 6 or 7 in a row, but before that, they're like 4 wins and 38 losses. And oh boy, Montreal visits New York, and I think it's a 4-game set. And Montreal has a heck of a team: Cromartie, Cash, Dawson, Perez, Carter, Valentine, Parrish. Oh no, and they have pitching to boot. So this is going to be a nightmare of a 4-game series. I'm going to start setting this up. But holy smokes, this is going to be a tough one on me. And Philip, it's okay. You can still stream on YouTube, man. It's all right. So all you got to do is you click where it says this is for adults. You don't have to click it's for kids. That way you don't have to worry about it. You just click it's for adults, and that's all. End of story. All right, so you can still stream all you want, Philip. And I like when you do your streams. So anyway, that's it. That's CP Cards and Dice playing Payoff Pitch, one with fast action cards. No, I did not use. Oh wait, that's a lie. I did check the stealing rating one time because the Mets had a couple of stolen bases, so I had to check that there's a little steal box, and it's right here. See that? If I could, actually, I can take a picture of that and put it right here on my tower, and I wouldn't have to ever look at the charts anymore. Great little game, a lot of fun, and I use the fast action cards, which basically make it chartless. So it's a great game, and 4-0, Mets win it, and that's it. CP Cards and Dice. I'm going to set up some more games, probably play another one later, maybe another one tomorrow morning. We're getting closer to the weekend. And that's all she wrote, guys. All right, so take care. Thanks for stopping by. CP Cards and Dice says adios, amigos.